Hey, I'm Adam. I'm a master's student at the Creative Computing Institute at the University of Arts London. How did I get into creative computing? I was given a computer, honestly, way too young by my dad. I think it was because he was like an Apple fanboy. It was surprisingly life-changing because back then they came with all this like creative software. And the thing that I enjoyed the most from that at the beginning was getting involved with film editing. And then I got to university, transferred into a program called digital media design that was half computer science and half fine arts. And then I got a job as a software engineer. It just didn't have the artistic community and culture around it that I like keep dabbling with and then disappearing from. So really, that's how I ended up at CCI. So for this assignment, we had to build like what was called like a sketch, like a really brief prototype for what could be a larger installation that involved the word touch. And instantly, I was like, what is untouchable? Landed on a cactus, which I have here today. And so the idea is that in a large-scale version of this, it would be a bunch of cactuses constructed to be like the full shape of a human body. And like maybe the not so subtle metaphor is like about intimacy and, you know, the kind of defenses we put up between each other. That just plugs into the back of this cactus. And now basically the entire like fleshy side of the cactus is a touch sensor. This is the little Arduino guy. That's what's sort of powering the whole thing. You write code that gets uploaded onto it. So right now it says touch me. And then if I stick my finger in there without getting hurt, so this is a project called Rejected by My Own Robot. It is a kissing robot, and you can try to kiss it, and you can get pretty close, but at the last second, it will always reject you. The first time I tested it with the lips, it was so uncanny and unsettling. Not so much that it was mechanical, but almost how it was weird to imagine that this could be a possible future. And you really just sort of go into the mode of kissing once you're in that setting. It's very, unnerving, and I decided that the kiss should never happen. It felt wrong, and I think once I thought about the idea of being rejected by a robot, I thought it was a really fascinating concept around these assumptions we have around technology, that it's always going to be efficient, it's always going to work the way you expect it to. It's kind of a source of pleasure in all ways that we see it in our world, that I think there's a lot of power in making devices that are actively subverting those expectations and provocative when it comes to these expectations that are so built into the way technology works in our sort of capitalist society. What I really love about creative coding is that you don't go in with an idea of what your final piece is going to look like. It's sort of about exploring the space of what is possible, setting up an algorithm that can kind of create a bunch of shapes, most of which are going to be completely uninteresting, and finding the right parameters, the right numbers to somehow suddenly have this sort of grace and beauty, really.